FedEx left a 25-book CGC submission on the side of the highway. Stay tuned for a very interesting story.
Bry's Comics.
Welcome to Bry's Comics. This channel is all about comic book investment and speculation with tips on how to have this hobby fund itself. But every once in a while, we veer off track when a very interesting story presents itself like the one today. But before we hop into that, we always do a monthly giveaway on this channel. If you subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and like this video, you're entered to win Moon Knight #1, a newsstand edition, and we're also giving away a Silver Age CGC Fantastic Four slab if you sign up for the newsletter at bryscomics.com. And also, we're having another live sale this Friday on my Instagram page with Steven from Minor Keys Comics. Steven is back. We're so excited to have him back. It's going to go from 3 p.m. Pacific time to 8 p.m. Pacific time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern time to 11 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a banger. It's always a lot of fun. There's always tons of good deals to be had, and I hope to see you there. So I'm sitting there at the office, and I get a phone call. Don't recognize the number. Let it go to voicemail. Then I see he left a voicemail, and look at the text dictation of the voicemail, and it says, "Hey Bri, ... got your comics, ... side of the highway, ... Doctor Strange #1. I'm like, what? So I play that message and he goes, "Hey, this is so-and-so. I just wanted to let you know that I found your box on the side of the highway. It's got a bunch of comics in it, Doctor Strange #1 and stuff like that." And I'm going, what? What is this? Like, who? Doctor Strange #1? I have no idea what he's talking about. I had just sent out a whole bunch of packages for my exclusive. I thought maybe something fell off the mail truck or something, but because they picked up a ton of packages for me, but none of them had Doctor Strange #1. I don't even know what Doctor Strange #1 he's talking about. So I give him a call and I'm going, "Hey, this is Brian. Like, what'd you find?" He goes, "Oh yeah, man, I was over on the highway over by the Four Corners, and I see this big box on the side of the road, and it had, your name on it." So he found my number online and gave me a call. And I goes, "Well, what's in it?" And he goes, "There's a bunch of comics. There's Doctor Strange #1. And I go, "What? Doctor Strange #1? I go, "Who is it from?" And he said, "It's from Danny Nunez." And I go, "Oh, Danny Nunez is the name on the label from CGC." So he found a CGC package on the side of the road. And I'm like, "Okay, well, where are you at?" And he's like, "I'm in Chico." And so Chico is a town about 15, 20 minutes away from where I am. And I go, "Well, I'm up in Paradise." And he goes, "Oh, that's all right, man. Let me just smoke a bowl real quick and I'll bring them right up." And I'm going, what is going on here? Like, who is this guy? What does he actually have? What package was it from CGC? What's going on here? So sure enough, he races up to the store because we were just getting ready to close. I'm like, "I'm only going to be here for another 30 minutes. He says, "No problem. I'll come right now." I go, "Okay." So he comes, he shows up, and he gets out of the truck, and he's got a big old CGC 25 book box on his shoulder. And I'm like, holy crap. He found a 25 book submission on the side of the highway. And he brings it in and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to lie, man. Like, I did open it up. I wanted to see what I stumbled across." I go, "It's all right, man. I'd be curious too." And I'm looking in there and they all look fine. There's 25 CGC 9.8. And so I'm like, "Man, I can't thank you enough. Here's $40 for gas. Thank you so much for doing this. I can't thank you." He's all, "This is awesome, man. This is great. Thank you so much." So when I gave him the $40, I was still totally unsure of what in the heck was going on. Like, how does a package even fall off of the back of a FedEx truck? The funny thing was that FedEx came earlier that day and delivered 2 packages. And so, I wasn't sure. I had thoughts running through my head, maybe the FedEx left this at the back door of my shop and somebody stole it and then they got cold feet and then they dumped it on the side of the road. I wasn't really sure exactly what happened. So I didn't want to give this guy a ton of money and then come to find out that he was actually, nefarious to begin with. And so I go to the computer after he left and I look up the tracking number, and sure enough, the tracking number shows that it's delayed and stuck in transit, but it's not delayed. I have the actual box. I have the tracking number here. It's never going to get delivered. It's never going to get scanned because it fell off the truck. It's on the side of the road. And then I look at, there was other stuff in that submission that was shipped around the same time, the 2 packages that arrived that day, and then a couple others. And I was wondering, was there other stuff stuff that fell off the back of the truck that he still had or that he didn't give back to me. I was just trying to figure the whole thing out, and the tracking numbers lined up that the other stuff was still in transit. They shipped on different days. So I don't think anything else fell off the back of the truck. I really do think it was just that one. So I started to feel bad. I thought, man, $40, first of all, this is the type of behavior in this world that you want to reward. Okay, if somebody does this, you reward the heck out of them so that they do it again, because the last thing that you want is for somebody to do the right thing like this, then they get $40 and they go, man, that was a waste of my time. All I got was $40. Next time I'm just going to leave it on the side of the road, or next time I'm just going to keep the package, right? So I'm feeling totally regretful about this, and so I texted him and I said, hey, what's your Venmo? What's your PayPal? I want to send you another $50. The package was worth about $2,500. I already paid for shipping. I paid for shipping, and $100 is a decent amount of the value of these books. So I felt like $90 was a decent amount of money to give the guy to make him feel good about what he did, that he didn't just waste his time. And so what was in the box? All right, so there's 25 CGC 9.8s. It's worth about $2,500. There were some high incentive Berserker slabs in there. There was some Doctor Strange Volume 4, number 1, the first appearance of Zelma Stanton incentives in there. I'm specking on that book. I think Zelma Stanton, she's from Strange Academy. I think she has some future potential, and her books are dirt cheap right now. And then there were some Swordmaster number 1s, about $2,500 in this box. So I want to talk to the FedEx guy, and if I get a chance to get him on the phone, I'm not at the shop today, but if he shows up today, I'm going to try to record it, and if I do, I'm going to insert it here, because I just want to know what happened. How is this possible? Because the only thing that we could think of was that the truck delivered a package to this gas station. There's a Four Corners there on the corner of the highway, and there's a gas station, and maybe he delivered a package to the gas station and then forgot to close the thing, goes around the roundabout, a package slides out, and he gets to his next stop, realizes what he does, but didn't know that the box actually fell off the truck. And, looking back on when he delivered the 2 packages, my store manager, Kate, actually said, just the 2 packages today? And the guy was like, yeah, just the 2 packages, and had him sign the little phone thing. And it totally makes sense why he was looking a little sheepish, because there was supposed to be more than 2 packages and one fell off the truck. This happens sometimes where they think maybe it's back at the shop, I'm sure. But this guy, I'm sure, was sweating the fact that he was driving around with the back of his truck open for a period of time. Unless something else happened, but I just can't figure out any other possible explanation of how this would have happened. So it's just an absolute miracle that none of these books were damaged. If a box of CGC books, these are heavy, they're like 30 or 40 pounds. If it were to fall off the back of a truck and roll on the side of the highway, and none of the slabs are cracked, none of the slabs are broken, it's just incredible that they managed to survive. And the box itself looks fine. It looks like normal wear and tear that you would see from a delivery. So I thought, should I call FedEx, right? There's the opportunity here, if I was a nefarious person, to file a claim, because this package is never going to get delivered, right? So I will absolutely have a valid claim lost in transit, but I'm not going to do that. That's not the type of person I am. I got the books back. None of them are damaged. No harm, no foul, right? The packages, I could go for some kind of, refund on the cost of shipping. At the end of the day, FedEx, through my FedEx account, it's only about $30 or $40 to ship a package from CGC to me with 25 books. So for $30 or $40, man, you can't pay me $30 or $40 to call FedEx customer service. It's just going to be a headache. I'm going to get frustrated getting through their 1-800 number, picking the right option. It's a nightmare every single time. And I can just see right now, this is just going to be a total time suck. And, I didn't have any actual loss. So I'm just going to just let it die, leave it as it is. It'll be kind of interesting to see what would happen, with FedEx if they just never delivered the package, right? I'm curious, what happens if FedEx loses a package if I do nothing? I have a feeling if I do nothing, they do nothing, right? Like if nobody says anything to them. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And so what's the moral of the story? Well, first of all, there are still good people in this world, all right? There are still good people in this world. That's one of the biggest takeaways. The second biggest takeaway is you can't judge a book by its cover. And I'm talking about the guy who gave these books back to me, because if you lined up 10 people on the wall and said, pick out from these 10 people which one would return a package that fell off the truck on the side of the highway, you would not pick this guy out of the lineup. And that's what was so interesting about the situation, is like, this guy totally surprised me, and that he went through the trouble to do this. Not only did he do the right thing in returning the package, but he went above and beyond and raced it to me. All he had to do was smoke a bowl real quick, and then he was up the hill to deliver that package to me before I closed that day, which is just unbelievable. Because if it's me, if I find a package on the side of the road, I'll return it to the rightful owner, but I sure as hell am not going to drive it to you. You're going to have to come get your package, right? But this guy went above and beyond and delivered it to me before the end of the business day. I mean, when he walked in the door, I was like, man, you don't look like FedEx, but talk about service. I mean, this guy did way better than FedEx ever does. So I actually do have a good FedEx driver. There's a guy that's been delivering packages in this town for like 30, 40 years. He's one of my favorite FedEx drivers, but it was not him. It was some other, new blood that had this little situation. So that's it, you guys. It's just a feel-good story. There are still good people in this world. Don't judge a book by its cover. And I hope to see you this Friday over on my Instagram page with Steven from @MinorKeysComics. Go give him a follow on Instagram. It's going to be a banger of a live sale. Subscribe to the channel to be entered to win that slab. Subscribe to the newsletter at BryceComics.com to be entered to win a free slab every single month. We also have that new Zoo or Zoo exclusive releasing soon, available now at BryceComics.com. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bryce Comics.